Hello and welcome to Manika IAS. Today we are going to continue the same series that we started last time. And in the last session, we did up to question number 18. From this session, we'll start from question number 19. Okay. So, the basic premise I'll tell you this exercise is not to understand how do we solve question. The basic premise of this exercise is to understand how do we prepare. This is equally important for the people those who are going to attempt this year's prelims examination in the month of May, and for those people those who are preparing for 2026, right? So you can need to understand what are the type of questions that are you asked by UPSC, right? Then only you can prepare. In question number 19, here only UPSC is trying to check a basic understanding. If you watch television, you will get to understand that this basic activity is done by orangutan, right? Similarly, question number 20 is related to environment and ecology. It is also a part of your syllabus. Here it is being asked in the making of how many of the above are hydrofluorocarbons are used, right? So the answer that has been given by UPSC in this question is C, only 3, right? So hydrofluorocarbons is a topic, is a kind of topic that we try to understand and read in the context of pollutants, global warming, greenhouse gases, right? These are the parameters where we study these things. Question number 21. Interest income from the deposits in infrastructure investment trust in WITs distributed to their investors is exempted from tax, but the dividend is taxable. Statement 2. InvITs are recognized as borrowers under the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002. See, this question on the face of it looks very difficult, right? But then you have to understand the premise again. Infrastructure is one of the major requirements of our country, right? And that is why this question has been asked. And InvITs form a part of it, with the help of which government can actually generate a lot of revenue. Here statement 1 is not correct, statement 2 is correct. So the answer given by UPSC is statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct in their official answer key. Question number 22. In the post pandemic recent past, many central banks worldwide had carried out interest rate hikes. Statement 2. Central banks generally assume that they have the ability to counteract the rising consumer prices via monetary policy means. Now, if you go through both these statements, it forms a part of your syllabus called as money and banking chapter. Okay, so this chapter is also called as the monetary policy chapter. Here, central bank in case of India, it's RBI, right? Which we also call as the lender of last resort. Lender for the banks, lender for the government. So here the official answer is given by UPSC. Statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. Moving on to the next question. Question number 23. Carbon markets are likely to be one of the most widespread tools in the fight against climate change. अब देखो, ये स्टेटमेंट बाय डिफॉल्ट करेक्ट है, ठीक है? इस स्टेटमेंट में कोई भी एज सच दिक्कत नहीं है. तो अगर कोई भी अपफ्रंट स्टेटमेंट गलत ना हो तो हम उसको करेक्ट मानते हैं. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट, कार्बन मार्केट्स ट्रांसफर रिसोर्सेज फ्रॉम द प्राइवेट सेक्टर टू द स्टेट. ठीक है, अब टेक्निकली इस स्टेटमेंट में भी कोई गड़बड़ी नहीं है. कार्बन मार्केट्स ट्रांसफर रिसोर्सेज फ्रॉम द प्राइवेट सेक्टर टू द स्टेट. जब ट्रांजेक्शन आप कार्बन मार्केट एज अ टॉपिक पढ़ते हो, देन इट्स बाय डिफॉल्ट अ करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. बट इन दोनों करेक्ट, इन जो स्टेटमेंट 1 है, इट्स नॉट द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन फॉर स्टेटमेंट 2, right? So both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 is not the correct explanation, as in they are not related, right? So the official answer given by UPSC is statement B. Moving on to the next question, question number 24. Which one of the following activities of the RBI is considered to be part of sterilization? Now, sterilization again has been in news in the recent past due to the various tools used by RBI in order to control the flow of money, right, in the market. So here it is conducting open market operations. Open market operations is also called as OMO. So this is the answer given by UPSC. Moving on to the next question, question number 25. Again, the various tools used by RBI and the government as well. How many of the above are included in capital markets? कैपिटल मार्केट्स में कौन कौन से इंक्लूडेड हैं? द ऑफिशियल आंसर गिवन बाय यूपीएससी इज टू, ओनली टू. See, the answer is this, but you have to understand treasury bills or T-bills has been asked by UPSC time and again. So this forms a very important source for your prelims examination. If you have been preparing, so you must be knowing that it is, kind of released for 91 days, 182 days, and 364 days. शॉर्ट टर्म बोरिंग होता है टी बिल्स, राइट. सो कॉल मनी मार्केट, government bond market, stock market, right? So these are certain things which is being asked. Stock markets related already alpha और beta के question पूछा जा चुका है. So these are certain buzzing words, right? This is a common thing that you see in the newspaper whenever a student asks like, shall we read newspaper or not? I time and again say, and from our side we definitely tell it to the student that without reading newspaper it becomes very difficult for you to clear this examination, be it your prelim stage, be it your main stage, or be it the interview stage. So you have to be very prompt with your newspaper. Similarly, question number 26 is a very lengthy question, right? So in time, maybe this is a strategy for you. In an examination you might not get enough time, so once you read a question, make sure that you nullify a certain kind of answers or certain points from it. Here, which one of the following best describe the concept of small farmer large field? ठीक है. The answer given by UPSC is B. Many marginal farmers in an area organize themselves into groups and synchronize and harmonize selected agriculture operations. Now, when you go through all the statements in all, like, the statements given in this question, this is the most appropriate one, and that is why it has been chosen as an answer by UPSC. The next question is again related to a very important topic of MSP, minimum support price. This is one of the major function that the government does and which is important and also in controversy at times, because of not being revised properly. The farmers are not getting the benefit of MSP properly, right? And mostly the MSP related advantage is limited to certain states such as the green belt states, the green revolution states such as Haryana, Punjab, Western UP. So this is time and again in news. So the answer here is not important, although I'll tell you the answer. But try to understand the question related to MSP, right? Who sets, who kind of fixes the MSP, the role of CCEA, the role of CCAP, right? So these are very important. These bodies are very important when you go for MSP. For how many crops MSP is being provided, you have to see that as well, right? So the correct answer over here given by UPSC is all three. The next question, which is question number 28, consider the investment in the following assets: brand recognition, inventory, intellectual property, mailing list to the clients. How many of the above are considered as intangible investments? Now, intangible is something which you cannot touch. Tangible is something which you can touch, right? So, the official answer given by UPSC is here only three. This question is related to what I can call as a basic economic understanding of things, right? So, if you go through the macroeconomics or certain aspects of microeconomics, although I don't suggest personally to read microeconomics for UPSC prelims, mains, or interview, but yeah, obviously when you go through macroeconomics, these are certain things which you might see, which you might get in mock test also. So if you know, it's good. And to be putting it very bluntly, this is a very common question, right? Brand recognition, inventory is a tangible, intellectual property is tangible or not, mailing list to the clients tangible or not. So these are very obvious questions that one should know. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following: demographic performance, forest and ecology, governance reform, stable government, tax and fiscal efforts. For the horizontal tax devolution of 15th Finance Commission, again, time and again, Finance Commission has been asked in the examination, used How many of the above as criteria other than the population, area, and income distance? So this is a question, and the correct answer here over is B, only 3. Anything related to finance commission, not in terms of economy only, but in terms of polity and setting up of finance commission, again is mentioned in your book Lakshmikant, right? Need to go through that chapter, very important. What are the various functions, who appoints the members of finance commission, how many members are there? These are very important question. And not just finance commission, related to state finance commission also, SFCs. You need to go through this aspect as well. Moving on to the next question, consider the following infrastructure sector. See, infrastructure related second question here. One we saw about INVITs. Here we also see another question on infrastructure. On how many of the above does UNOPS Sustainable Investment in Infrastructure and Innovation S3I initiative focus for its investment? The answer is C. It does not focus on mass rapid transport. So this is wrong. Again, I'm not going to, kind of elaborate on the kind of options that are there. We're not going to check on those aspects, but you have to understand, see, this body is talking about United Nations and infrastructure. So things related to infrastructure or United Nations or any international body which are very important, here I'll just try to name them. For example, IMF is very important. Anything related to World Bank is very important. Anything related to Asian Bank is very important, right? So these are very important. Anything related to WTO, very very important, right? So these are very important areas which you need to go through and make sure that whenever you see anything in the news, any mock test that you are giving, so you have to make sure that ये तो गलत बिल्कुल भी नहीं हो रहा है, ठीक है? And these are obvious areas that you need to get correct. Question number 31. In essence, what does due process of law mean? अगर आप लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ोगे और let's say you read any NCRT, any textbook, the correct answer is the principle of natural justice. This is a very debatable question during that year. Most of the people have given different answer, but I'm just trying to give you answer which is being officially given by UPSC. Moving on to the next question, question number 32. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. In India, prisons are managed by state governments with their own rules and regulations for the day-to-day administration of prisons. In India, prisons are governed by Prisons Act 1894, which expressly kept the subject of prisons in the control of provincial governments. Now here, the official answer given by UPSC is A. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ से आप आइडिया लगा सकते हो. The provision of state list, the provision of union list, right? If you have some idea about these aspects, then you can certainly come to an answer, but it was a difficult question, and if you see such questions in examination, it becomes very difficult to solve. Until unless you have a fair chance, then only try to hit it. Otherwise, these are certain questions which you can avoid in the examination. Okay? I hope you got the idea about it. Moving on to the next question. Which one of the following statements best reflects the chief purpose of constitution of a country? See, UPSC has itself highlighted it, right? Which one of the following statement best reflects? हो सकता है ये चारों रिफ्लेक्ट करे, बट आपके हिसाब से which is the best as per which reflect the chief purpose of constitution of a country? The answer over here is C. It defines and limits the powers of the government. That is the major purpose of constitution as such. तो ये एक बहुत important, बहुत conceptual और बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन था. Now here is a classic example of a question which UPSC might drop. This answer was not given. UPSC actually in their official answer key kept it blank. They did not provide any answer, right? Because most of the people were saying as First Amendment. Then there were certain people who were like telling as 42nd Amendment. So there was no uniformity among the various institutions also. So UPSC has actually dropped this question, like as in they didn't provide an answer for that. So we are also not providing here an answer to this question. Moving on to the next question, question number 35. Consider the following organizations or let's say bodies in India: the National Commission for Backward Classes, the National Human Rights Commission जिसको हम NHRC भी कहते हैं, the National Law Commission, the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. Again, how many of them, how many of the above are constitutional bodies? This thing was in news. Only one, that is National Commission for Backward Classes. NHRC is not a constitutional body. National Law Commission is not a constitutional body. The National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission is also not a constitutional body, right? What is a constitutional body? In which you have a provision and an article has been designated to it, and which is a constitutional body. For example, Election Commission of India, ECI, is a constitutional body. UPSC in itself is a constitutional body. CAG in itself is a constitutional body. I hope you got an idea about it. तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये आप प्लीज पढ़ के जाएं और रिवाइज करके जाएं. लक्ष्मीकांत में इन इटसेल्फ देयर आर 8 to 10 constitutional bodies mentioned, right? Moving on to the next question. This is about the president. There are two important chapters in the book Lakshmikant, which is president and parliament. If you go through legislature, parliament is very important. If you go through executive, president is very important. So these chapters are very important. Apart from that, you need another, you can just type a message. We will send you the list of important chapters that you have to revise before the examinations, right? So the official answer given by UPSC here is D, none. So last time we did up to question number 18. Today we are stopping at question number 36. The next time we meet, we will discuss from question number 37. I hope this session was helpful for you. Try to align your preparation as per the question that is being asked in UPSC exam in itself, and that way you can reduce your burden of preparation, and you'll be very smart. It's not just about hard work, it's about your smart work as well. I hope this was beneficial. All the best, and we'll meet very soon. Thank you.